Good evening. Money Reg, aka Legend, back with another video entitled Did Dick Make Him Sick? Let's go. All this week in New York City, there was a very troubling story about a young man who may have thrown his baby into the river. Apparently, when he went to drop off the young man or the child at the mother's house, this is what he told the mother. And I'm thinking to myself for the last 3 or 4 days, no guy's going to throw his baby into the river at 2 years old. That's impossible. Who would do such a thing? 6 o'clock this evening, it's been confirmed. It is believed that he threw that 2-year-old baby in the river. This was the headline this morning. Dad to mom, I threw Tot in river. I threw Tot in river. And he meant it. Ladies and gentlemen, not many things make me sad anymore. My eyes have seen twice my age. I've seen enough tragedy to last a lifetime. But every once in a while, something really startles you. Eats at your inner core where your humanity lives and breathes. And this bothers me tremendously. When I was growing up, my grandmother taught me that when we're born, we have 2 lives. One life is we come into our family, and the other life is the life we choose for ourselves. This young baby did not get a chance to choose his life. He came into a family, but he didn't get a chance to choose his life. And my response to that is this. Young men and women, you have to do a better job of who you're laying down and having babies with. Now don't get it twisted. Everybody got needs. I tell my lady friends all the time, you want to fuck a guy, fine. You don't have to bring his ass home. You meet him at the club, you want to fuck him in your car. You want to go to the 4-hour spot, bang him out, that's okay. But you ain't got to have no baby with these motherfuckers, because I'll tell you why. Because if he ain't wrapped too tight, there's a 50% chance that baby ain't going to be wrapped too tight. If he not that bright, 50% chance that baby's not going to be that bright. This is where you are right now. You got to be real careful who you're having babies with. Young men and young women. Both. You live in a day and age where it's crazy. For a man to kill, allegedly, because they're going to say, well, we have to go through the court system, to throw his child in the river, they don't make monsters any worse than that, ladies and gentlemen. I tell everyone today, there are a lot of monsters among us. Look at the P. Diddy trial. That motherfucker's a monster. He was among us. We have a lot of monsters among us. And we have to be very careful with who these monsters are. So if you decide for whatever reason to procreate and lay down with a guy or a young lady, you better make damn sure you're making some good choices. When I was young growing up, you couldn't come by my house unless my grandmama knew who your family were. They used to say, who your people are, boy, or young lady. Because they wanted to get a sense of what kind of person was coming to their home. The integrity. Remember my 4 C's? Courage, credibility, character, and conviction. The 4 C's. My family wanted to know. And I thank God for having my grandmother around me, because she was able to share that wisdom with me that allowed me to make better choices, personal responsibility. Allowed me when I started dating to pick from the top. I never picked from the bottom. If you ever watch Wild Kingdom, and if you ever see the giraffe, as long as his neck is, he never eats from the floor. Always from the top. My motto was this: if you ain't top shelf, don't even come my way. When I was out in the street dating, I wasn't having no baby with just anybody. You had to be somebody. You had to be somebody going somewhere, not just anywhere. You had to have purpose, direction. You had to have a blueprint for your life, the way I did for mine. Now, it doesn't mean I didn't bang some sugar walls along the way, but you weren't having no baby with me. Absolutely not. Because I didn't want that negativity following me around for an eternity. I didn't want that. And young people, you have to be very careful with this selection making process. There was a young lady in my neighborhood named Yvette. I knew her very well. We used to call her Captain Save a Dumbass Man, because she thought every man that she met, she had to save him. Yvette one time brought this guy home named Vincent. And everybody in the neighborhood told her, this guy's no good. But she refused to listen. And she dated Vincent for a few years, and domestic violence came into the situation, and a whole plethora of negative situations came from dealing with Vincent. Finally, her family pulled her away from Vincent. She goes to San Francisco, and she meets a black guy from Denmark, Holland. His name was Jay. She meets this guy, and they begin to develop a beautiful relationship, and they get married. They get married. So Yvette decides to call me and says, I'm making Thanksgiving dinner. Would you like to come over? I knew Yvette couldn't cook, but she said she was making Thanksgiving dinner, and I decided that, you know what? Let me show up and show out. And that's what I did, showed up. I came with some exquisite treats and dishes and all kind of stuff, and we're sitting down. But I noticed when she greeted me at the door, she had a blotch on her face, and you could tell it was being covered up with makeup. And after dinner was over, 2-3 hours, we were having a good time. Yvette grabbed me by the hand, and she pulled me into the hallway. She said, Legend, I have something to tell you. I said, well, what is it? She said, well, my husband and I just got this brand new big house, and we went to get life insurance. Great, everybody needs life insurance. She said, but they rejected us. I said, why would they reject you for life insurance? She said, the guy I used to date before I got married, he gave me AIDS. I said, excuse me? He gave me AIDS. This is Thanksgiving. By Labor Day, she was gone. August of the following year, I went to see her. She had meningitis. She had lost her vision. Lost her vision. Labor Day, she died. The young man that she married, his family was angry. I saw them at the funeral. I never saw them again. They said, because we sent you a clean son, and now our son is infected because of your bad deeds. The neighborhood heard about this guy, Vincent. They heard about him. Not only did he give Yvette AIDS, he gave a few other young ladies in the community AIDS. So as a gift to the community, somebody put a knife in his heart and killed him, sat him on his mother's step, and rang the bell and said, here's your son. That's a true story. But I only mention this story to tell you, you have to be very careful with who you're sleeping with. Don't play around out here. It's dangerous. This 17-year-old girl and this 20-year-old boy or young man, lives will be forever damaged, because this young girl didn't have the skill, the wherewithal, the grandmother, the mother, father, the leadership and the guidance to tell her this young man is probably no good for you. And these guys show you signals that they're monsters. He did not just get up one day and decide that he was going to throw a baby into the river. They give you signals that they're going to be a monster. She disobeyed the signal, and as a result, the baby's gone. And she would have to live with that forever. Because now, the way my grandma was, she was old. Grandma now 35. She wants to go to the club, shake it up, bang it out a little bit. There's no time given to raising children anymore. Parents are working 2 jobs. They're trying to squeeze in a little personal R&R for themselves. And as a result, their young children are running through the community with the wrong people. This story today saddens me significantly because this is New York City today. What other city will it be tomorrow? So I say these things to say the following. Young men and women, whoever you're having a baby with, make better choices. Make sure that that DNA meets a certain standard, like the gold seal. So in the eventuality that you and this person are not together any longer, that baby will be able to be nurtured, cared for, guided, directed in a certain way where he or she will be successful. But you have to make sure that you get the proper date. Because if you don't, the same way this young baby was thrown in the river by this nut, you're going to have problems with a nut. And we don't want none of that. So to all involved with this story, you have my deepest condolences, and my heart goes out to you. I was saddened to hear about the news, and I don't want to hear about this kind of news ever again. So I'm asking all of you people having babies, make sure you check your date or your significant other. Until next time, I want to say I love you. Thank you for always listening to my videos. Thank you for always checking in and paying attention to what I'm saying. And young people, I make these videos for you because this is where my heart is at right now. So let God be still and let you listen to the Creator and follow His words and His footsteps, and He'll lead you on the path of righteousness. God bless you and good night. Thank you for coming out. I'll see you again soon. Peace.